Hello, my loves. How are you today? Sue here from the Spiritual Alchemist, and I just thought we'll get some cards out to see what the energy brings today. Energy's changed a little bit since yesterday. Yesterday was quite a beautiful, calm, gentle kind of day. Today feels a little bit, whoops, hang on a minute. Today feels a little bit more fast-paced. It feels a little bit more sort of in the head kind of space. Okay, we've got death out. So death is, the spiritual purification. The world as a whole is going through a rapid ascension with everything that is going on. And when the world is wobbled, or we are wobbled, we get in our head with that. So, okay, we've got a lot of swords coming out today as well. So there's a lot of overthinking, over processing, or people kind of a bit reactive to everything, which is only natural. Our day-to-day life is pretty full on with everything that's going on within the collective, within the world. It is pretty uncertain, the repercussions that are going to happen. So let's just have a little, whoops, there we go. Again, the Hanged Man, he's been out. I was going to say he's been hanging around, but that's a bit tongue-in-cheek, isn't it? He's been out quite a bit this last week. So again, everyone just sort of sitting on the edge of their seats waiting for what's about to unfold, which is really, it is exactly what it is, energetically. And that's where it's shifted a little bit. I also feel, beautiful, I'll just pop those over there. I also feel that a lot of you are, if you're not in your head and being reactive, you're actually sitting and someone is being, or a situation is reactive to you. And being that, the fall guy for some people's, just their trauma, their reactions, it is not your stuff to bear. So if you're getting targeted, or targeted is not the right word, but if you're getting, I don't know, it just feels like constantly, people think it's okay to explode in front of you, or to project to you, or just, it just does, it's not cool, it's not a nice feeling. I feel like you're tired, you're worn down from it. And that being the case, I want you to really, really step back from it, because whoever is standing in front of you, exploding, reacting, feel very fragile, but also unaccountable for how they're acting, and the way that they may be speaking or not speaking, or whatever it is. I just feel like someone's having a bit of a tanty in front of you, but it's all their stuff. It's their own stuff that they are not processing. It is their trauma. It is their unresolved within stuff, and it's got nothing to do with you. But you're the scapegoat. You're the one that is copying it. So for you, my love, I want you to completely step back, pivot, and go that way, because it's not about you at all, and you shouldn't have to put up with that. So set some boundaries around yourself and go, actually, you know what, hey, stop. That doesn't involve me, and I'm not going to be part of it. Have a voice around it, because we have got the Fool that's come out. I've got the Death and the Fool kind of walking in together, and then all these sword cards. And swords in the tarot is your mindset. It's where your head is, It is the air sign, so... but these are very active cards. It shows someone is really overthinking, over processing, over too much. It's really too much. It's stealing them away from this present moment. And the present moment can be such a beautiful space, and they're missing that. So it's allowing yourself to detach from their energy and actually move in a different direction. It very much shows me you're moving away from the mental drama, and that's exhausting. Like, seriously, that is exhausting. You don't need to get caught up in that at all. I have a card also showing feeling quite mentally trapped, and again, this is the same situation. emotionally confused, mentally trapped. What's going on? Is this me? Is this them? It's nothing to do with you. You know, like it's their stuff. You stay in your lane and do you, and you will know exactly how you feel, where you are, and what you're on about. You know, the biggest thing you can do is actually talk to people. Talk to other people, find someone you can confide in, find someone that you can actually release everything without judgment. You are not bitching or moaning or whinging. You have a need to vent. You have a need to unload, because otherwise you're going to explode, and you don't want that. Okay. I have the world sitting in here. The world is closing of chapters. You know, it's sitting in a little bit of limbo. So you kind of, you know, you're walking on eggshells, dancing around in limbo, kind of in a space that you don't want to be, and that's really hard. I'm really drawn to fire signs at the moment. So Leo, Saggy, and Aries. I feel like you may be in your head a little bit more, or you may be feeling a little bit triggered by everything. And that is okay, you know, it is okay, but really be accountable for your stuff. Be accountable for your actions. Just because you're feeling like that doesn't mean you have to put it on to everybody else. And, you know, like I'm not targeting those people. I'm just having awareness of how you feel. And if this feels a bit chaotic in here, calm it down. You know, like either talk to someone, ground yourself, just really bring it down a little notch, because I just feel really highly strung when I'm sitting in the fire sign energy. I'm just going to pull an oracle card for you, because for any fire sign person, so this is Saggy, Leo and Aries. And again, it sometimes it might not be you, but it's other people riling you up and winding you up. And I feel like you're like a little spring that is ready to explode. And I really want to diffuse that if I can for you. And we will, I've got one already. I just want to get two for you. It's nice to be able to mix the tarot and the oracle together. They blend beautifully. Nice. So, and they will relate to what you're talking about. So the first one that came out is balance. And, you know, in light of what I've just said with the fire sign, feeling like you're wound up like a spring, find your balance, you know, find that place where you flow, rather than that place where you are, it just feels like I'm jaw clenching, you know, stuck there. Spirit just want you to just breathe, take some deep breaths, breathe, feel your feet on the ground, and flow with it, and, you know, have this beautiful balance with it, rather than you know, just rather than running around like a you know, just a machine that's so tightly, you know, those toys that you wind up and you wind them too far and they click. And I feel like this is, you know, like you're in that click space where you don't want to have that reaction where you might just say something you don't want to say, you know, because you're not like that. You have a beautiful, kind soul to you, and salt of the earth kind of feel. And this energy is not you, it's just a moment in time. So I want you to shift it. Transformation is very much here as well. I'm very drawn to different symbolism. This is how I work very much with the symbols, and just transformation is waiting for you. I just want you to actually look in the mirror and actually be accountable for how you're feeling. You know, look at your jaw. Is it clenched? You know, is the tongue up on the roof of the mouth? If it is, relax it down. You know, like relax your shoulders, breathe. I feel like you're just doing little shallow breaths. Take a few deep breaths. You know, really bring your energy back down again. It's having a fresh look on life for today, you know, rather than doing what you did yesterday or the day before, because it's absolutely sapping your energy. So and yeah, once you do that, you know, it's like you're off, you're away, you're ready to go. The card that came out with it is called New Beginnings. New Beginnings is a beautiful card where, you know, making a few subtle changes will just bring about this completely different person. It's like you kind of crack out of your shell and you're back again, and you'll feel invigorated, and you'll feel back to normal, and you'll feel, you know, yeah, baby, I'm back. I want you to do that. Really, really important. Breathe. Okay, my loves, that's fire sign people. Just bring it down a tone. It's not you, it's everything around you, which is, it is the way it is. I have significant travel cards in here, and you know, if you're planning any kind of travel or looking at travel, at the time of doing this reading, my readings are timeless. They are open readings. They don't have dates attached to them, so when you find them, they are meant for you. So with travel at the moment, there's a little bit of stress around it, you know, head and heart stress. So I want you to really communicate, find a good travel agent, or find someone that has a lot of knowledge on the area that you want to go to, and really communicate well, because yeah, I feel the pull. I feel like you're drawn to go somewhere, but for you, and I feel like you're drawn to perhaps to go on your own or into a group of people that you don't know, so it feels very unknown. I just want you to actually go for it. You know, why not? Just find someone that can lead the way a little bit rather than you paddling along, because if that happens, your travel's not going to happen. So have someone who you can shoot a question to, shoot an email to, you know, get some clarity and calm yourself so you can move forward. As I said before, we have death walking through our spread today. This card has been in, mostly in for the last week, showing that the world is going through massive change and, you know, collective change. It is change in the way we are thinking, because we have so many sword cards out, you know, our mindset around every aspect of life is change. It has to change, it has to evolve, you know. People have to change the way that they think about other people, you know. It's not about, like, my opinion is not anything, you know. It is actually, I just strive to be a kind person. If I can be a kind person to someone I see, I've done my job today. You know, if you can just let someone go in front of you instead of pushing in front. It's just those little tiny things that, you know, you see it on the roads with road rage. If you can just let the person go in front of you, what's the big deal? Everyone needs to be able to get home safely at night. Everyone needs to be able to have, you know, a beautiful day, rather than having this reactiveness that's really sitting there. And again, you know, you could just push in front of a stranger and it turns into this whole thing, you know. That can be avoided. So today, be the bigger person, you know, step back. Here, you can go before me, that's not a problem. Or, you know, if you see someone, smile at them, say hello. We've lost our community within our community, you know. We've lost that connectedness that used to be there. You know, do you know your neighbours, and do you go and check on them? You can live in a street for a long time and no one knocks on anyone else's door. It's just finding your sense of community and finding your sense of compassion and kindness and gentleness is really in the cards today. We have to change the way we are thinking moving forward. Everybody is going through something, and, you know, the world as a collective is sitting more in an area of judging a book by its cover, not by the contents within. So I really want you to stop judging a book by its cover. And you don't know what that person in the line in front of you that is having trouble doing their grocery shopping or putting it through the checkout, and you're getting frustrated. You don't know what kind of day they've had. You know what you've had, but you don't know what they've had. So why don't be horrible. Be a nice person. You know, have patience, have kindness, and the world will change. You know, we will all change. You just have to do you. If you can change you and become a nicer person and a flow with life and have kindness and gentleness, it ripples out into, you know, your community. It ripples out into theirs and then their community, and it has this beautiful ripple effect where you as a single person can actually make some really big changes. But it starts with you. So very much at the moment, the path is up for change. Today is a day of being accountable of the scripts that run either in your mind or in your day-to-day life. You know, if you have the same thing for lunch, I challenge you to make something different today. You know, like change it up. I tell you what, by the end of the day, you'll actually feel really different. You know, it's just doing things different. Park in a different spot, walk a bit further, you know, just really mix it up and look at life from a different perspective. Get out in there, in nature, get out in the world and just do it completely different. And I know that you will be a different person. I'm just going to pull one more oracle card and then we're going to finish up. You're going to have an amazing day. Today is a big day for change, and you know, change that is good. It's it's going to be fun. Let's have a look. Beautiful. Acceptance. So the cycle of life, beautiful card. Really drawn to the moon up here. Very much your intuition. The big pot of water, you can see it here. You know, this is your emotion and she's cradling it. And watching as the rabbit jumps out. The rabbit in tarot especially is fertility, you know. It is eating cleaner food. So if you're seeing rabbits, sometimes you have to sit on a bit of a vegetarian diet for a little bit, but not saying forever, just perhaps to do a bit of a detox or a cleanse, a body cleanse. But she's cradling this big pot of water, and this is her vessel of emotions, you know, and I just absolutely love it. You know, there's lots of roots and stuff growing from that pot. You can see down here all the roots and stuff that are growing. I love the big tree in the back. There's so much growth that will come when you can just shift who you are today. Change, you know, just subtly change. It's already happening, you know, and the fact that you're really aware of the mental chitty chat that's going on, or the reactiveness of other people or yourself, you know, feeling triggered and stuff. This is already happening. So acceptance of who you are, and allow the cycle that you've been sitting in your life to change, because today one door opens but one door has to close. So allow that door to close so you can just be a different person. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow and seeing how much you've changed. Okay, my love. Take care. I'll see you again. Bye.